Everybody, good to have you all back here again. Just to begin with, some interesting news. I'm just doing a thank you to a bunch of people who include William, and as an example, William gave me a great lead using a three-way chat on LinkedIn when he introduced the lead to me. A gentleman by the name of Hamish in Australia. He's a channel manager. And one of the problems channel managers have is 90% of their distributors and resellers are useless. They don't do anything. Doesn't matter if you bribe them or threaten their lives, they just won't do anything. So what's really useful for him is to actually use my most trusted extension to give his distributors an opportunity to preload everything, all the content, and all his distributors have to do is just take over their LinkedIn profiles and go invite, and follow the process. So it's super exciting on that level. Now, what's really interesting is when William when William or any of my VAs, because my diary's full now, whenever any of my virtual assistants hand over a lead to me using a three-way LinkedIn chat, I go onto my LinkedIn profile and I invite them, and I say, as per William, you said you were interested in the VA Army. Let's have a conversation. So they get like a double dose of communication. One, I respond within the three-way chat. Thanks, William. Thanks for the introduction. Let's set up a call. And then I go and retarget them on my own LinkedIn profile as well. And I can put them in my sales pipeline. And I create a tag saying referral William. So I can see where those referrals have come from within my most trusted. So that whole loop gets done. So it's really exciting, guys. It's pumping. The VA Army is really going great. I mean, it's just a great way to have a few virtual assistants out there selling for you. It's like, I'm so busy right now. It's wonderful. So that's really cool. And I also wanted to show you, to prepare you on the same lines for next week. Andrew wants to know how to do that. Yes, well, that's basically what I'm going to answer now. Oh, a three-way chat on LinkedIn is really easy. In a chat, for those of you that don't know how to do it, on LinkedIn, right? When you go to your chat, you can see here's William. William and I were chatting earlier. Like this one here, Scott meets somebody here, Wolfgang, here we go. He's already, there's example of a three-way chat. But let's say I want to introduce William to somebody. I open the chat and I use the three dots over here, these three dots, and I create group chat. And you can create a group chat, and I give it the group name if you want it, and I can add people. So I can introduce William to Pelisa, for example, and I can just say create chat next, and it'll create the chat. Easy, hey guys? So that's essentially how to do it. Sorry, there's a few more people to welcome into the chat. Welcome into the group. Hey everybody, good to have you here. Thanks for joining. Hey Doyle. Asphalt, good to see you again. Nice, Seth. Alberto, good to have you. So yeah, guys, as I was just saying, the way the app tracks everything and the way I'm putting it all together is super efficient. Like my diary is completely full, and like I said, having a few VAs out there selling for you is really a no-brainer for me. Now, what I want to talk about, guys, is next week we are going to, in real time, build a custom network so you guys can all see how to do it. I'm going to share this link with you guys in the chat so you guys can make any comments or see what we're going to do for next week. We're going to create our own custom network. And what is a custom network? A custom network, for those of you who don't know, is the ability to switch between them. So at the moment, the default network is blue, right? But we can create custom white labeled versions. So for example, I'm going to switch between School of Entrepreneurship. There you see, so it's a School of Entrepreneurship branding. If I invite somebody or do anything, it's going to use School of Entrepreneurship copy. It's all pre-programmed in here. So this is what we're out there selling now. And it's really, really awesome. So you can create your own white labeled version. So we are going to create one. We're going to create one for ourselves. Okay. Which is this group, which is the LinkedIn Like a Legend. So we're going to create one for LinkedIn Like a Legend. And what I've done is I've created 3 messages that are going to be pre-programmed in the system. The first one, and I want to get your guys' feedback on this. I want you guys to make comments, and next week we can discuss it. The invitation message will be, hi, name, like me, you're a business owner who believes in collaboration, network, and supporting the business community around you. something like that. I'd love to connect. I should finish that. So this is what you guys can do to build your own networks, and at the same time, bring people to my Wednesday sessions and bring them into LinkedIn like a legend. So that would be the invitation message. And then the acceptance message. Thank you so much. I'm part of an amazing organization that combines the power of making authentic LinkedIn connections with the true spirit of networking and giving back to the business community. I have no hidden agenda. The organization is completely free. I'd love you to join as my guest. And then the link, and then a follow-up a few days later. A quick follow-up name. Did you manage to join? Do you have any questions, or would you like to do a quick one-on-one session with me? I'd love to meet you and discuss possible business synergies. So it's a really great way for you guys or anyone else to promote your own business networking, target people and bring them onto our system as your guest, as well as help you guys book meetings as well. So we're going to build it next week, and we're going to create our own version of our own custom network. And I'm also then going to show you how we're going to track it and how the reports work as well, and how to actually see what people are doing. So how exciting. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great, eh? Yeah. Cool. Okay. So it's all coming together. It's really rocking, guys. It's pumping, like the custom tab, custom networks. We got clients using it now. It's really, really going well. And the VA army is starting to take off. Beautiful. So today, Luther, is he here? I didn't see Luther on here yet. He's supposed to be up first. Luther's not here. I hope everything's all right with Luther. So we're going to have to jump across to Dan. Dan, are you ready to present the Google?
Yes, I am.
You need a few minutes?
No, that's fine. It's actually very, very brief, Scott. It's not, I'm not going to go into huge amount of depth, but I just want to kind of make people aware of it. And can I share my screen?
Yep, go for it. You're on.
Okay. Let me just move this out the way. See my screen. Okay, so the way that Google My Business works is that somebody just shout out what their main core business is, and I just want to show you here what happens. Anybody out there that's got a business that they're wanting to promote or
marketing.
Tuan, sorry, or Richard, sorry, marketing.
Marketing, yeah.
Okay, so if you had to type into the Google search marketing, near me. Okay, what comes up first on the page are all these paid. Well, there's only 2 paid adverts here, but normally it's donated by the AD at the side of the URL. And that denotes that they have paid for that advertising. So in other words, they've gone on to Google keywords. They've bought these keywords for marketing agency in Pretoria. And so they're paying big money to be in the spot over here. Then you have what is called the Google map, and that shows all the people that are on that have paid for their advertising, and also the people that are in what is called the Google snack pack. Now, the way that Google My Business works is that it was set up by Google to help small to medium-sized enterprises market their businesses better. And this snack pack is where you are trying to get into. Because if I just show you here, 93% of people would rather click within the snack pack than actually click on somebody who's paying for their advert.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's Scott, it's quite a weird thing. People will see that people are paying for advertising, but they won't click on it. They would rather click within the snack pack. It's I don't know why. It's really quite crazy, but 93% of people would rather click within the snack pack than click on a paid advert. And then okay, so to start off with Google My Business, if you are on a blank, if you haven't registered your business on Google My Business, what you do is that when you go to a blank search page on Google, there's these 9 little buttons in the top right-hand corner here. And you click on that, you go to Google My Business, and there you can either, sorry, let me just move this out the way here. So now you can go ahead and you can add a business, and you can add a single business or multiple businesses. And here you would type in, has somebody got a business that's not on Google My Business? Anybody?
Yeah, I don't, but let's give someone else a chance. Who else doesn't have one?
Richard, have you got, are you listed on Google My Business?
No, not yet. Optimized marketing is the name.
No, then it won't appear there. Let me just put in my name of my business, Animate Media and Print. And then it's going to come up that you already manage this business. Okay. All right, let me just go back here. All right. See your profile. Sorry, that's not where I wanted to be. Okay, so initially when you start off setting up your business, these are all the kind of headings that that you can go through and change, and where you've got the pencil icon, you can change all of that information. So it's important to put in your website address, your business location, your opening hours, your logo, and then a description about the actual business itself. So that's important. You go through the contact information, see that that's all correct, the location, where you are, if that is correct, the hours that you open, and you don't need much more than that information. Then the things that you can do is that, like Google AdWords, you can go and create a post. But more importantly is that if you, so for argument's sake, I'm in Norwood, Johannesburg. Now, if I want to go and set up an Animate Media and Print Sandton or Animate Media and Print Pretoria, I need to go and create these locations. But Google is very, very clever. They've got algorithms like you can't believe, and you can't jippo the system. Everything needs to be verified. Your business needs to be verified, and you can't really you know, put in information that doesn't belong to you or anything like that. So the thing is that what you need to do in order to be able to not trick or to fool Google, but what you do is you go and create landing pages which describes your business as being Animate Media and Print in Sandton or Pretoria or Cape Town or any other locations, so that when somebody in Cape Town or Pretoria or Santon types in their video production near me, or video content marketing near me, or video marketing near me, then I want to appear within that snack pack. And the way to do that is that you go and create these landing pages, and they just sit on the back end. They're just purely a URL that sits on the back end of your website. Then
do you have them, Dan? And how many do you have?
You only allow 10. You only allow 10 locations. So if you choose your locations carefully and you choose them in areas that you've got high volume, high traffic, that kind of thing. So if somebody puts in their accountant near me, then you pop up. If somebody's looking for business coaching near me, then you'll pop up. And it's just a matter of creating the location, the landing page, and then marrying the two together, and then listing it on Google My Business, seeing that all the pages are connecting up, and off you go. And the way to do that is, let me just go here. If you go down to support, and you type in here locations, locations. So here you can request a bulk verification for 10 plus locations. And they've made it a little bit more difficult in that initially, where you had this action button, here you could actually add locations. So now they've changed it, and now you've got to go into learn about My Business Lodging API, learn about extensions and review our guidelines, and in that is all the information that you need in order to be able to create the landing page and list the landing page under that location.
Okay, now one of the things that somebody mentioned last time, they were trying to do this, but the Google tried to send something by post to verify.
Yeah, that was Francois. And I'm not sure if he's on the call this morning, but I actually did have an answer for him. And I just need to spend a little bit of time with him, just show him where to go and click and how to verify it. But you don't need to. The postal thing is crazy. You can verify it online. It does work a little bit like blockchain, that they like to put all the boxes kind of together, but very doable. You know, just sometimes we click on things that we don't know, and we think that it's supposed to be doing something that it should be doing, but it doesn't. And it's like that with Google My Business. But to verify your business is quite easy.
Okay, really interesting. Has anyone else done this before, just out of interest?
No.
And how much success are you guys getting from it?
Well, with me, it's all new on the back of Daniel's help. But I use something called CPod within my website, WordPress website, which I'm not too sure exactly how that's all working yet. I did create a few landing pages, but then I'm unsure a little bit how it all connects. But I guess this is the bit that's missing that Daniel's explaining that I need to do.
Really interesting.
All right, and then just the last thing before I finish off, Scott, is getting reviews. Okay, you know, when you look at businesses on Google My Business, and you see there they've got 3 reviews or 4 reviews or 5 reviews, you only start kind of being recognized by Google in an organic, in an SEO organic kind of way, when you've got 100 and more reviews.
Wow. Okay.
Now this is something that we tend to forget about our businesses, and the reviews are very important, because that is, you know, Scott, you always talk about the trust element, building trust. People won't give you money unless they trust you. So by having a review of your business helps to build that trust. And the more and more that you have of it, the better it is for your business, because that immediately, when somebody, you know, kind of reads through your reviews and sees, Richard from Optimized Marketing did fantastic work for us. You know, William and his QR codes, you know, increased our revenue by X amount. You know, these are all kind of reviews that just help to cement that trust element between us and the client. It makes them more willing to part with their money in terms of the value that we offer. And it's really fairly simple. I mean, if you go onto your Google My Business account, you go there, share review form, you copy the link, and then you just send that link to, you know, a client that you've been working with, and you say, hi, William, or hi, Richard, or hi, James, whatever it is, please won't you leave a review? And they click on the link, it goes straight into Google. They write a few words about their experience of you and your company, and off you go. And I promise you, this is, you know, when my wife is looking for accommodation, she goes according to what people say about the lodge, or the game lodge, or the hotel, or, you know, whatever it
Dan,
is.
sorry, we've gone quite a bit over time now, so if it's okay, I'm going to cut it there.
Okay,
It's really interesting. Yeah, no, thank you so much. Hey, that's really, it is super. I think it's a no-brainer. And if anyone else has got any comments to add there, just please mention it if you guys are doing this. But yeah, I think everybody should have that. I mean, it makes sense. And also, don't ever be scared to share that form with people in groups like this. There's lots of us, you know, we can all go on and give each other great reviews. What better way to help each other than give each other great reviews, hey? So yeah, if you have that, you want reviews, put it in there. Absolutely. All right, great. So can we move across to Doyle? And Doyle is now going to be telling us about his egg. And for those of you that don't know what an egg is, hopefully you all do.
A nice little egg.
Yes, a stratohedron egg. So Doyle's going to quickly take us through his egg, and then if you've got some comments and you want to make them out loud, feel free to make the comments out loud. But some people, you know, have got interesting things to say, but don't get a chance to speak. Please type it into the chat. Yeah, no, let's do that, Doyle. Luther's not here today, so we have a bit of extra time. So it's actually okay. Maybe we can go back while Doyle does that. Does anyone else have any comments or questions quickly for Dan about the Google My Business? Has anyone else done it, or is it okay? How much business do you get, Dan?
Well, Scott, I got an order for 328,000 Rand the other day.
Wow.
I got an order to do a website for 11,000 Rand. I've got a whole series of videos that we're doing for 15,000 Rand. In between that, we've done a whole lot of rush jobs for a whole bunch of people, 4,500, 10,000. So it's all starting, Scott, thank God, it's all starting to happen and come together. And, you know, it's just a matter of creating brand awareness all the time. And unfortunately with marketing, who was it last week that said that you've got to be spending 80% of your time on marketing? And it's very true. Okay, it's consistency and just putting yourself out there all the time. You're going to get smacked in the face plenty of times, but you've actually got to have your big girl panties on and be able to handle it and, you know, work through it till you get the yeses. So it's almost like the salesman and having a fear of no. And it's how many no's that you can take until you kind of break down the door and start getting your orders in. And you've just got to keep putting yourself out there, and it's a tough world out there. You know, everybody's in pain, everybody's battling, and you've just got to be consistent and persistent.
Yeah,
and
I completely agree.
And eventually the doors do open, and the walls do come down, but it's hard. You know,
It is, eh?
Scott, I just want to ask a quick question.
Sure.
To Dan, if possible, and good to see you as well. And Dan,
hi, as well.
The presentation there, and I guess my question is, so I'm doing business coaching, but I focus on quite a specialist area, let's say, which is helping software as a service founders kind of like grow faster and fix their stuff. I'm just wondering if Google My Business is also appropriate for that, for someone who's, let's say, for me to find customers, it's got to be quite laser-like. I've got to link with people that are very specifically in that role and kind of dealing with that particular problem. So I just wonder how valuable Google My Business would be for that scenario, as opposed to, let's say, a local business.
As far every business has got a unique set of marketing prerequisites. So for argument's sake, if you're a hairdresser, you want to kind of geolocate and geo-target all the people, every woman that's within a 5-10 mile radius of you. When it comes to business coaching, it's a more targeted approach. Where Google My Business really does come in, it's almost like an additional kind of web page, if you want to call it that, to your website. So it's not part of your website. It's an additional kind of space that Google sees within itself and recognizes as Farhada as being a business coach in your particular area. And what I'm saying is that you can kind of jippo it a little bit by creating your business coach business in a number of other different areas. So when people put in, if you are in North London and you want to try and pick up business from South London, then you would go and create a landing page about as Farhada business coaching North London and South London, and then when Google looks at it, they see you in North London and they see you in South London, and then they present the information to the client.
Okay, I think that makes sense.
And then what you can also do within Google My Business is that if you want to run kind of targeted advertising, it's not cheap, but it's also not that expensive. And that way you can then, work within Google AdWords, Google keywords, that kind of thing, target your market to an area, and then only people within that area will be delivered your marketing material.
Okay, thanks. So I guess the idea is that, you're then perceived as being kind of local. Is that good?
Correct. You're being perceived as being bigger than what you are.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. So they recognize you in a number of areas.
Got it. Okay, brilliant. Thanks so much.
And then with those extra URLs, does the business get linked to that page, or is it just to extend this, that you pop up on searches, more searches? I mean, do you actually have to create a proper page that people are going to see, or is it just a blank, is it just an arbitrary thing with a URL?
No, Marion, it's got to be a complete landing page. It's got to be a complete
people will
description. See it. No, they don't see it, but Google does see it. And Google does read it. So for argument's sake, if I wanted to go and animate in Sandton and Pretoria and Joburg and Cape Town, then you've got to write copy that details, about your business in those areas.
Okay.
And you can't just use the same landing page for all.
Okay, so you can't just copy it across.
No, you can't. You've got to write the content. You've got to do it properly, and because they pick up on it. Oh, this is the same as that, and then they pass over it. So if it's unique content.
Okay, so it could actually be quite useful if you've got different aspects to your business. You create a different one for each thing, each aspect as well.
And then you put in there the keywords that you would like to use or that people use in order to find your business. You add those keywords into the copy, and then you throw away.
Okay.
Interesting. Williams put the link to Seed. It's called Seed Prod, SEEDPROD, Seed Prod, which looks like it's a little plugin for WordPress that does your geolocating. William, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I discovered it a long time ago, but I haven't been using it properly. But now I've got a reason to. So.
Yeah. Well, I think you sold it to us pretty well, Dan. I mean, if you're getting business out of it, that's what matters. And I guess it depends on the kind of business you have, which I think is so important. Yeah, it's really great, Dan. Thank you. Interestingly, it looks like we lost Doyle as well now. People are dropping off like flies. It's been a bit of a difficult day today. And no Luther, which is interesting. So yeah. So sorry about
Scott,
that.
can I ask
Dan,
a question?
Yes.
Dan, how would you go about it if you are only online, if you don't have a physical business in an area?
If you okay, so the thing is that you do need a physical address. So even if you use your home address as your physical location, Maria, it will still work.
Okay, thank you. I thought that's what I would do. I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah, no, you do need a physical address, and but your home address is fine. I use my home address in my business because I predominantly operate from home.
Okay, yeah, me too. That's why I'm asking, but I don't have a physical business. Everything is online. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, guys. That's really interesting. And yeah, you will need that physical address, obviously, because it needs to put you on that map. But then you can just use, friends or relatives. And I'd like to hear how you guys do with this, because I think it's great. I might even look at employing that for my business. I'll have them all over the world. Really interesting.
It's not just one thing. South Africa is having load shedding all over the place. So maybe users in an area where he's got no power. I would imagine that
power cuts. Yeah, it looks like that's the problem.
Sometimes 2 to 3 times a day. It's a nightmare.
No, Jam, I'm really, really sorry. Here comes Doyle though, so we should be able to. Let's see if Doyle's in Perth. Apparently, they got electricity a couple of years ago for the first time. So there we go. Hey, Doyle, you with us?
No.
Yes.
Doyle, you there? Okay.
I'm back. Sorry about that. That was
your timing's good.
Agonizing.
Try carry on?
Painful. Sure.
Almost seamless, Doyle. Almost.
Yeah. Almost. Yeah. I think it was like Chrome having like a major temper tantrum in the background. All right. Okay. So can you see this then?
Yeah.
The main page. All right.
Yeah. Now we good.
Okay.
Now we good.
Or maybe it was Mercury or Mars or something.
Retrograde.
Yeah, there you go. I guess while it's there, like, was everybody able to see it?
There it is. And that's gone. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. So what I wanted to talk about was, I'm trying to understand the real problem, and I put it into one pager and open to feedback as well. It's kind of like a first draft, but often we don't really fully grasp what a strategy is and what we can do with it, and may get written down or drawn, but as soon as it gets lost amongst all the other papers or erased from the whiteboards. It's not just a sketch or a whiteboard or a graphic. It's a method of seeing, touching, and feeling how you can actually, how your strategy actually fits together, and how you can convey the story of your business and your future business through it. It's actually just a way of shifting the way that you see information. So everybody knows what a delta symbol is, right? Delta means change, right? In engineering and math, and pretty much we use it quite a lot, but not delta string, but delta as in change as well. And that's what's really important, is that if you look at it from the perspective of how do we fit all these pieces together, all we're talking about is my smaller amounts of change that lead towards a large amount of change, is what I call an expedition as well. So if we're able to put these small changes together in sequence, we can actually build what I call a digital expedition, a journey of transformation. And it's similar to what we would do if we were actually going to physically do a expedition to Mount Everest or whatever the case may be. The shape's the same. What are we able to do? We're able to create a roadmap. We're able to create an understanding of how we can actually produce our product, how we're actually able to get it out into the environment, and how we're able to tell our story and our strategy. So, for lack of, through the magic of the internet, we can actually take those 4 elements of change that I just showed you and actually create it into a 3D pyramid that allows you to see everything all together. So you can see your strategy, you can see your story, you can see how it all fits together and how it all interacts as well. So what I do is I take you through that journey of developing what I call a stratahedron, being able to understand, well, what does each of these faces mean? What do each of these 4 sides actually mean, and how do they connect, and how do you communicate them? And does that actually mean something to you and your business and your audience? And at the end of the day, once we've created this little tool, we can tell our story of our business, we can tell our strategy of our business, but what we've also done is we've given ourselves a roadmap. So each of these small little elements becomes one of the 12 steps rather along our specific roadmap. So we've created a tool to help us with our strategy, that helps us tell our story, and helps give us direction as well. So what I do is I guide people through this initial step, and being able to produce one of these online, and then you can print it out and redo it and remake it and fold it into a nice little tetrahedron, and take it to a meeting, tell your friends, tell your business colleagues, tell your audience, show your customers that this is the story that we're going to be taking you on. This is the transformation that we're bringing you through as well. So it gives you the ability to go and do what's ahead with certainty and understand how these pieces fit together for your business and your story.
Really cool, Doyle, thank you. So I love the stratahedron. I think I might quickly go to GoDaddy and quickly register deltahedron.com. Quickly snap it up before I do. It's really great. So from an egg perspective, right? I love the way you've done this little brochure type thing, which is really cool. And we mentioned last week that the idea behind an egg is that people can, it's like an entry level. Could you do an entry level of this exact thing? But like, what is you start with your first face. You know what I mean? Your first facing side. It's 2 hours and it costs you $1,000, or it's a half-day workshop for $1,000. It just, for me, it just needs that little bit. So it's like how much would this charge? Would you cost now to do this whole thing?
Yeah, well, in this case, I have in the bottom right there, it's $97 to be able to help you create one. So I go through that process with you.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's kind of small in the corner there.
But that's a whole. Is that a whole workshop?
No, that's like a very quick and dirty 20-minute type conference that we go through, and I talk you through those questions, take you through the online builder tool, and then you're able to print it out for you. So it can be a lot more elaborate, and there's definitely different levels of this. If you go deep dive into a strategy of this type, you can actually spend a lot of time at it too. But I just wanted to make it short and quick, so at least you can kind of see the main elements of it. But
so your egg is not okay. So the egg is $97. That's your entry level. I would just like to see that more upweighed and a bit clearer. So it's $97. We start with this. It's 2 hours. It's 1 hour. It's 20 minutes, whatever. And just quickly show what you get. And that would be it. Because that's a no-brainer for many people that it's $97. I mean, I would love to give that a go myself, for example. I'm sure many other people would.
Yeah. Yeah, I do need to put like a payment. This would also go to the payment gateway as well on my FYI page. So that you'd be able to book it right there as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it's great. I think it's excellent. I just want to, just as I said, what we're looking for is a no-brainer price point, of which $97 is great. To say, okay, cool, for $97 you get to start the process with Doyle's Stratahedron.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully that made sense. I know sometimes it's hard to, it's kind of, when you think about it, it's kind of like unwinding that that hose. A metaphor that I use a lot is when you're trying to unwind the hose, and why do you get a kink in the hose, or why can't you kind of, if you just twirl up the hose, it doesn't actually wind up properly.
Yeah. William says you need QR to connect to your payment.
Yeah, I can do that as well. I was going to add a QR code, but I just didn't have time. I just finished this up about 5 minutes before this. So.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. So the only thing for me, I think it's great, though I think everyone likes it, is just maybe the $97, just remove limited spots, because that kind of does sound a bit silly. And say for a start here, $97, your first 30-minute Stratahedron connector, or come up with a word, Stratahedron face journey, something.
Yeah.
And really make it clear, because now we know how to promote Doyle. Now we know, finally. I mean, we've been chatting for 3 months and I've never known what to tell people about you. Now I can say, yeah, he just does this really cool entry level for strategy, and you just pay out $97 and it's $100 off you go. And he does a first entry level for you. It's really worth it.
Does the process make sense though? I would like some feedback on that. If anybody has that, like, is it too confusing? Is it, I don't know. Does it make sense? Like,
what do you guys think? Maybe a little bit detailed, but then some people like detail.
Yeah, I find the page quite busy, and my brain kind of goes, really? And it's, I would like that the image maybe of the hiker that would attract my attention and make that more dominant, and some of the other stuff less. But I'm not.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's an image that makes sense to me. The rest looks like mathematical symbols, and my brain doesn't really go there very comfortably.
Depends on each one. Yeah, I see what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I wanted to convey the fact that there's this journey up the mountain, and the mountain looks like the change symbol, and the change symbol is actually what sort of are the building blocks of this tool. And then the pictures actually show this is actually to make it look tangible, that while I'm holding it, I can see it. What is this? Okay, I can touch it. I can.
Yeah, the pictures I get, it's more the left-hand side that.
So it's too abstract.
My brain boggle.
Okay.
Maybe I wonder if it would hard.
Maybe the logo on the black Stratahedron Digital, the actual title probably doesn't need to be there. And maybe even the quote from Albert Einstein potentially. Yeah. Maybe you could just make it a little bit simpler. And then as I said, I just like to see the cost a bit clearer. For $97, you get bang, 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 really clear, so they can go, cool, I'm in.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. That's what you want. You just want someone to say, yes, here's my money. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Doyle, if I could, I think if you were to impose your triangle that is next to the image of the man, if you impose it on that image, and somehow clarify the quote of Albert Einstein, then you'd have more space to maybe just put salient points, because right now it's too busy, and your brain doesn't know where to go, where to follow.
Okay.
So yeah.
No, thank you, Vanessa.
Too much of clutter.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can cut it down.
The old
No,
adage of less is more.
Yeah, you have to keep in mind that, guys, that the idea behind the egg is that it's not a brochure, so you're not trying to sell it. They should already know about you and what you do as a rough idea. You don't have to really go into detail about what the product is. It's basically saying, this is the cost, this is what you're going to get, and it's really cheap, entry level, let's go. That's really what the egg is about. It's just to get in the door, get them to pay you some money, and then you build a relationship, and then the egg hatches, and then you get an extended contract down the line. So what we're doing it like we're doing it now, we go to companies from our side. Our egg is really simple. You go and you say, listen, you pay 2,000 Rand or 100 British pounds or 200 Australian dollars. You pay that up front, and then it's $200 or 2,000 Rand a month per virtual assistant. And you can just scale as many as you want. So somebody can go, okay, so for 2 virtual assistants, it's 6 grand for now, and then 4 grand, and I get 2 VAs for a month helping me sell. I'm in, let's go. And then obviously then it's like, do you want landing pages? And we can expand and blah, 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 blah. But that's the egg. So that's what you're looking for. It's that just really little simple no-brainer to get people started. But otherwise, really nice, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate the feedback.
Beautiful. Anyone else got any comments? Guys, we're running a bit late, so we don't have much time for networking. We have 7 minutes. Do you guys want to do a quick networking session, or are you guys good for the day? Thumbs up if you want to do a quick networking for the last 5 minutes.